What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Leftovers podcast. I'm Joe,
I'm Charlie.
and we are going to be doing a WandaVision specific episode because it was the
Yeah,
finale. It was the finale, the last episode,
it was.
episode
Or
9.
is it? Or is it? People are speculating we're
Yeah,
going to
there
get a
there
little
is speculation of
final
a
episode, but
secret. There's a secret 10th episode. If
not
there
going to tell us
is,
about. They're just going to drop it.
if there is,
Doubt
then
it though.
great. We can talk about that next week. But yeah, I doubt it. If there is going to be another episode, it'd probably just be like the making of
In my
WandaVision,
opinion,
or like
they
behind
need
the
one.
scenes. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge in a second. But Charlie and I haven't really spoken much about it since we got released. We've kind of just,
No.
I mean, I've heard a bit from you. I've kind of kept
Yeah,
my
I've
thoughts to
given my
myself.
brief initial like immediate
And
thoughts about it.
and
But
this time I have taken notes as well. I have taken notes. This is the finale, so I thought I might as well.
ooh, a little bit of profession.
Exactly, yeah. Got to be professional in this. But
Mhm.
let's start with you. I'm gonna allow you to voice your opinion on it because I know you're going to be very
Okay.
passionate about it. So,
Okay.
what are
I'm going
your
to kickstart off with.
no? I'm just gonna say, what are your thoughts on it? Go on.
Okay. Well, I'm going to kick off with what I think was good about the episode.
Okay.
So I think just from one division alone, Wanda and Vision, I think both ended with good arcs. They had a good individual like storyline with their like as a family and
Mhm.
with the kids. Um, I liked the little fight scene with Vision and Vision, who was technically from
Vision,
Created by
vision.
Wanda.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I liked this some scenes like when Wanda manipulated the mind of Agatha, and then Agatha was like, "Hold up, you ain't tricking me."
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
all the witches like came from the dead and stuff. And I liked like the CGI they used and things. That was quite good. That was off the top of my head. That's what I can think of that I liked the most
That was
about
it.
the episode. There's probably other stuff, but that's just the top of my head. I didn't make notes like somebody did, but
Yeah. I'm
I actually know.
professional at it.
Actually no. Another thing I liked was I liked the end credits scene. I think the first one wasn't the best with the scroll. I didn't really. It was a bit poor, but I mean, the end one was pretty sweet. But
Yeah,
we'll
it's
talk about
interesting.
them in
We
a
will
bit.
talk about them afterwards. Yeah, yeah.
But, first of all, what I didn't understand was when I clicked on the episode, it came up with like 46, 47 minutes long, which was literally just not what they said was going to happen. Like someone calculated the minutes like they said they filmed, and so the last two episodes was calculated to be like an hour long, but we got 40 something minutes in the eighth episode. So everyone's thinking this is going to be an hour plus because it has to be, otherwise he's blatantly lied to us, and it wasn't. So that was everyone's question
Maybe
marks
there
on
is
that
a secret
really.
episode then.
Maybe there is, but if there isn't, then they've just blatantly lied. Another one was they expected, obviously, this big cameo, which never occurred. If they said that, even like Elizabeth Olsen did come out and say like Evan Peters' Quicksilver was not the big cameo, and you yet to see it. So unless this secret episode is actually a thing, then if it isn't, then I'm afraid that was a massive letdown on that part, just because everyone was expecting like some big cameo from someone. Like people were thinking like when they said it was a Luke Skywalker equivalent, everyone was thinking like an Ian McKellen Magneto or a Wolverine and Tom Maguire. But the way it was going, it didn't really feel like that. So I think I would have just liked it to have linked with WandaVision. So a Mephisto or like a Doctor Strange appearance would have been good enough, and would have suited the story well. And especially when Doctor Strange in Avengers Infinity War was with Tony Stark, and you said, "What do you do?" And then he was like, "I protect all reality, douchebag." Like, if you say that and you protect all of reality, where were you across the whole 9 episodes? Like, this is a pretty big part of the reality getting messed up here with some two big ass witches just messing up everything. Like, you should be there. So unless he's busy off doing something, which maybe he makes an excuse for in Multiverse of Madness, then I'm afraid that was pretty bad writing. Another thing was it didn't really do anything with Quicksilver. I think he was wasted in the last couple of episodes. I know Agatha created him, but I think he could have had a bigger part. He didn't really do anything. It was just like what they did with found in like a little home, just to hide it away, like he was in Days of Future Past when they all went and found him. Also, I think the twins could have showed their powers a bit more. also, I did actually like seeing Wonder as Scarlet Witch for the first time. I did like seeing that. It was a good scene. I forgot to mention. And taking her power. I didn't like the fact that they built Agatha to build be this old mighty powerful witch, and then she just gets defeated. Like, and it wasn't necessarily easily, but just it's a problem with a series. Like, I think you need to build it up, and I think if they introduced her being evil earlier, they could have demonstrated her power a bit more, because I feel like she probably only really had 2 episodes of her just showing her power, and we didn't really get to see her full potential, and her just being defeated, and now she's back as the nosy neighbor, it was kind of diminishing for me, in my personal opinion. And then also, what we don't know, there's a lot of plot holes that's been created, as well as the ones that have been closed. Like, for example, where's Grey Vision gone? He never got explained. Where did he go?
That's not a plot hole. That's just an unanswered question. A plot hole.
No.
A plot hole is when something is done, which isn't what is meant to be done. So, like, for example,
it's still technically a plot hole, though, because you think about it. If they introduced him,
that's just because then it's like Gamora missing is a plot hole then, because we don't know where she went.
If they introduce it, the way they did it, though, because if you introduce a character, if he was a character from the start, and then he just kind of disappeared or something, like Darcy Lewis not being in it that much, that's not a plot hole. That's just her but not in the episode much. I didn't really like that. Hopefully, I kind of would like to have just a bigger part in the final episode. She was in it for 2 seconds, crashing a car.
Have fun in prison.
Yeah, I know.
Still one of the best lines, though.
Still count it as a kind of like a plot hole, because of how they introduced it in the last episode, in the previous episode. Like, this is, oh my god, this is gonna be a big part, like Vision. And I thought maybe he could get his memory back, happened, and then he just not just the fact that he disappeared, that he was just gone, and without any explanation of what happens to him. Does he not go and speak to Scarlet? It's because he remembers everything. Like, you would think he would appear at the end, but he didn't. So I was a bit confused.
This is the definition of a plot hole, by the way: an inconsistency in the narrative or character development of a book, film, television program, etc.
I count. It's just
inconsistency.
Me and my mates count that as a plot hole. We were talking about it. We just count it as a plot hole.
Okay. You need to research what a plot hole means, because that is not a plot hole.
Yeah, it basically is, though, isn't it?
No, it's not.
But it is.
You could say it kind of is. It's not, Charlie. It's not a plot hole. No, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah, Joe, shut up, Joe. It is. No, Joe. Right, let's just move on from that. Right. So anyway, as well as that, we want that question. We want those questions answered. And also,
I agree that I do agree with that. Yeah. They are unanswered questions that we want answered. Yeah.
And also, they built up Mephisto. It was very obvious with the Darkhold book introduced, which is basically kind of like Mephisto's Book of Powers, and also the devils on the walls that we saw at the end of episode 7 or 8 with Agatha. And basically all confirmed in the comics, because Agatha works for Mephisto. It basically was building up to get at least some sort of appearance or something from Agatha, from Mephisto, and Agatha working for him the whole time or something like that. But we never really got to see him at all, or mention him. I know she say something in the episode be careful what you wish for, or something like that, or there's an almighty powerful or some wizard. I don't know, because everyone was saying she's either talking about Mephisto or Doctor Strange, but none of them appeared, so it was a bit ooh. And another thing was,
are you talking about when she was reading the what the book was? I can't remember what the book was called.
It was. I think it was another bit as well. Like, when she became Scarlet Witch and took Agatha's powers, she was like, "You don't realize what you've done," and all this and that.
Yeah, but I think she's referencing that it's now too late to turn back. She's now going to just turn evil. Like she's now Scarlet Witch. She will now just not take over the world, but destroy the world. I think that's what she means. I don't think she's.
I have to read the comics, because I don't know if
I don't think she's saying
Agatha comes this happens to Agatha, where she gets defeated and she basically stays powerless, or she gets her powers back, or if Scarlet Witch actually turns bad, or she.
I have a theory about that.
She uses the Darkhold.
I have an idea about that, but I'll talk about that when you're finished.
And then we'll talk about. There's a thing that the last cameo is really important as well, which we'll mention in a minute. But yeah, the fact another thing is Kevin Feige said this like introduces the multiverse. We got nothing to do with the multiverse in this series at all. Not one inkling of sign
I'm
of the multiverse.
I'm gonna disagree with that, but I will explain why when it comes to my turn.
Okay,
I'll let
I
you
can't see
finish.
how, but okay, you can explain it. So yeah, there was not really anything in the multiverse. There might have been like inklings. Like you could say Agatha took the inspiration for Evan Peters from another universe, and so to speak, is what people are saying.
Well,
but I
technically
don't
not
buy
because
that. I don't
it's just a
buy it.
guy called Ralph.
Yeah, I know. Everyone was questioning like, who's Ralph into this episode? Oh, it's just a guy.
It's just a guy that she just possessed.
Yeah.
She just took
Because if
control
you
of.
actually watch like the CW DC series, like they all like they always take a Harrison Wells from a different Earth, and they're all different people. Like one's like a Sherlock Holmes Harrison Wells, one's like a kind of like a gangster one. They're all just different. They're all Harrison Welleses, but they're on different Earths. They take them all from different Earths. So I don't know if they're going to go down that route. It'll be a bit cheesy, but I don't know. We'll see. And also, I think if I just brush over the end cameo, it's like obviously we know that she didn't like her kids were like screaming at the end like help and this and that.
We're talking about
cameo.
the post credit scene, not the mid credit scene. Yeah.
Yeah, the mid credit scene was the scroll, wasn't it? Which
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah. And then post one
basically
was
just saying,
Wanda. In the
we
middle
knew your
of-
mother. Come and see Captain Marvel and come see the scrolls.
Well, it might also be come and see Nick Fury because Nick Fury was in the.
Well, she's gonna be. They're gonna do that. Obviously, like the Secret Invasion. She'll
Yeah, that's what I
probably be in
mean.
that,
So it could be.
won't
It could be both. It could be both. I'm just. Putting
Yeah,
it
I
out,
think
but
she
yeah,
will
no.
be in both.
Well, yeah, she's in Captain Marvel too, but I don't know about Secret Invasion. But yeah, just want to put that out there.
And yeah, with the post credit scene.
Yeah, the one with
I actually thought they were gonna do two. So because I held on, I was about.
Oh
to
yeah, of
switch off,
course,
I
of
was
course, so. Of course,
disappointed.
there was going to be two. There's going to be two, 100%.
Yeah, but I did like it. But that would have been the perfect. Because speaking to someone else, that would have been the perfect time for Doctor Strange to appear and just be like, "Hey, do you need some help or something?" That would have been a great time for him to appear in that cameo, as a cameo in the post-credit scene.
No, but then I felt like it would have been, "Do you need some help?" And I'd be like, "No, it's too late now. I've dealt with Agatha."
They could have done something like that. Not with Agatha, but like like herself, like personally, and like maybe like Doctor Strange walks in the building, sees like her using the Darkhold, and just be like, "What have you done?" or something. That
Great,
cool.
Great. Let's have a therapy session now.
It's essentially that, but it's just it's MCU version of it.
Great.
But, I don't know. It'd be great to have seen Doctor Strange. Like I don't know if they. It feels like they promised us a lot, and they like kind of like under delivered in my opinion. I did like the arcs of the characters though, and I think like how they're going to go down the route is she's eventually going to meet up with Grey Vision, and he'll remember everything. And then he'll try and if she does turn bad, he'll try and bring
they'll
her back
get together.
To, like, and then they'll get together, and then they'll get their kids back. Apparently, they could be stuck in the multiverse, and that's how they introduced the multiverse in Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man 3. So that's my theory, and that's what some people are saying as well. She's the kids are stuck in the multiverse or something in the Darkhold, and that's how it ties into Spider-Man 3, but mainly Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, that's what I can think of off the top of my head at the moment. What do you think about the episode?
I'll start off with what I think was good about the episode as well.
Okay.
I agree with your point of the character arc. I believe that the way that Vision and Wanda were portrayed throughout the series was brilliant. Especially Wanda. I feel like Wanda was just, I think in my opinion, one of the best character arcs.
So she was a side character before this, and they did her really, really well. They've done really well with Wanda. I think she is like up there now with one of my favorite heroes. Now you know her backstory.
Yeah, exactly. You know the backstory. You know, like how. Yeah, you just know her much more now, and I feel like we just have a better understanding of her now. I just love her character arc. It's brilliant. And that scene where she does turn into Scarlet Witch, I did get some tingles from that. That was really good, like goosebumps, really good. You're right.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, okay. Well, I should have said
goosebumps
before. I should have said goosebumps first. I do apologise. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Carry on.
I also like the bit. I also like the scene at the end where they were saying goodbye. I felt that was really emotional. And the other two scenes were the one with the runes, where they were up in the air, and then Agnes took all her, or absorbed all her power, and then a minute later it's realised, oh no, it's the runes. And then I loved that. Nice nod to when Agnes did it in the last episode. And then also, I don't know if it's a cringy scene, but I quite liked it. Is when it was WandaVision and the kids, and then the military came in, and it was Agnes, and then White Vision came back, and it was like them all like in that in that circle, like teamed up. I felt like that was quite a cool scene as well. And it was like,
you know, I also thought about that scene. I think they could have put like a bit of My mate was saying they could have put a bit of X-Men like theme tune at the back behind it or something, or like a Marvel theme tune or something.
I thought they did. I've watched the episode twice.
They do with The Incredibles.
I watched the episode twice, and I thought for the first time they did that, but then I watched it again, and there was a bit of a tune in there, but it wasn't like the main Avengers tune or something like that.
I think they wasted what was this? What's this? I never remember his name. The leader of the Sword, the idiot.
We spoke about him last week. We just called him Ultron.
There was so speculation about is he Ultron and this and that, because it kind of fits in well with like the comics of him making his own Ultron, so to speak. And it could be Vision. Could Vision, like the Grey Vision, have like Ultron's voice or something? But it seems like he was just pretty irrelevant in the end. Like they didn't really do anything with him. Like people also saying like what was his whole point? And what was he trying to get out of like Wanda in the end game? I know he wanted like her out of there and like essentially destroyed, but was he going to do anything with the power? Like I don't know. They didn't really explain it.
Well, yeah, the sword is trying to like turn it. I guess they were essentially just trying to turn her into a weapon. Really,
I don't think he's sword. I think he's doing it in his own personal opinion. I think he's
probably because he wanted Vision anyway. So I think if you wanted to get to Vision, you needed to get to Wanda as well. And Wanda was like something in the way of that, so I think that's why.
Yeah, like we know when he lied as well about her breaking in. Like, why would he do that? We never got to explain. Like,
well, it's trying to set her up. It's trying to set her up. It's trying to be like she is the bad guy, so that way she can cover his back as well. Because I think that was explained with when when they were outside the hex, it was like he was trying to explain like, if when they discover Wanda, they'll discover Vision's body, and it shows that she kidnapped him, and etc. etc. Or not kidnapped, but took him, and etc. etc. So it was kind of like he was planning this from the beginning, so he knew what it was doing.
But I just felt like with like the stuff you could clearly see he was like the antagonist of like Wanda. I think they could have done a little bit more of his character, or maybe like set him up for like a future project. I feel like we haven't seen the last of him. I definitely feel like he'll come back. He didn't die or get destroyed.
No, he just got arrested, so I feel like we definitely can see him again.
Yeah.
What else did I think? Quicksilver. I made a note on this. I do agree. I don't think it was. I felt like I expected a bit more from him, but at the same time, it was a cameo appearance. It wasn't something major. And
they kind of like ever since the cameo like coasted his character to the end, didn't they?
And I feel like if it wasn't the Evan Peters version, and it was is it Anthony Taylor?
Aaron Jonathan Taylor, whatever it is.
That's the one. If it was his version, I felt like we would have seen more of it. But because it was the Evan Peters one, I think that's why we didn't see much.
Did it because they signed,
and that's why they did it as well.
To come back, was it, or something?
I don't know.
Didn't agree to come back or something.
I don't know.
Otherwise, if they could get him back, I think they would have.
Yeah, I agree. What else?
Didn't see that coming.
Exactly. That would have been good. He should have said that. He should have said. See, if Evan Peters said that when he opened the door, it was just like didn't see that coming.
Do you know what would have been sick? Oh my god. I actually just thought of this. You know when Sword Guy was firing them bullets, if he jumped in the way and saved the kids and not Monica and said, "You didn't see that coming," that'd have been sick.
Great.
I mean, he can dodge bullets. He's pretty fast.
His one cameo is he dies again. In the same way.
Just a reincarnation. And Scarlet just goes, "Oh, not again."
That scene was pretty good. Also, I know you were annoyed that you didn't
see more of Monica.
I was about to say. I know you were annoyed that you didn't see much of Monica's powers and also the kids' powers. I would like to point out, Monica's only had her powers for 2 episodes, and they're going to save it probably for Captain Marvel 2.
I know, but like maybe like when like people who are new to powers, they like do something dramatic, but they don't know why it did it, and then they try and learn from it in the future, like in episodes to come. It's what they usually
Yeah,
do with like
yeah,
heroes and
that's
stuff.
what they
usually
normally
like
do.
come out with a
But
burst of power,
but they
I don't
also
know,
need to break
maybe
away
like a
from that
unique power.
stereotype. I feel like they also need to break away from that stereotype. And it's not always like, oh, they've gone crazy, and all of a sudden they've realised they've got superpowers. They're like, oh my god, what?
But
is this?
she never like when she like her eyes lit yellow, and in this episode it was like blue or something. People like question like why is it like changed color or something. But people also like I read
Well,
some
I think
comments
I
and
think I
people
think with
saying
the
like they could have like at least I don't know like got her to at least talk about her powers because she never really like mentioned them, did she? She kind of like kept it to herself.
did she know if she showed them off to to everyone? She literally did a
Yeah,
superhero
but I mean,
landing.
I mean about her
in one of
talking
them.
to them, like, or like talking to Darcy, or like what's going on, or, like Darcy, because remember Darcy
Well-
was like a pretty big role in the
well,
first few episodes,
Darcy-
and then she became
Well,
she
to be
quite
fair,
sort of
to be
irrelevant.
fair, she wasn't with Darcy for the remainder of the series after she went back into the Hex. She wasn't. She didn't have much
She still
time to
knew
read.
her though.
Well, yeah, but she wasn't there.
Like,
Like
she-
they
no,
didn't.
but
There
as in,
wasn't
like-
another scene where they were together, and they could have had that opportunity to. And then
No, but I'm
also,
saying, like, I think there could have been like a minute or two, like maybe of them just of like Darcy doing more than just crashing the van or just saying like, "Whoa, look at you now."
I do
Like,
agree.
she
I
likes her
do
jokes or
agree.
something.
I do agree. But that's just how we have to take it as that.
Yeah, it's not a big problem with the episode. It's just maybe, in my opinion, if I was like the director, I might have done something like that. But it's not like anything bad with it.
I think with Agatha Harkness as well. I also think we haven't seen the last of her as well. I think she will come back.
Yeah.
Even if it's just for a brief appearance in another film or television series, whatever.
Especially the fact that they casted
and I feel like
the role.
And I feel like it will be Wanda will come back, but
Oh yeah.
it's when no, as in like Wanda will come back to see Agatha, and it will be when when she's more evil.
I think
I guess.
Agatha will be in Multiverse of Madness.
No, I think she'll be in a future MCU project. I think it'll be in the next phase, not this phase coming. I think it'll be in the phase after, and it'll be
Yeah.
it'll
Maybe
be
she like breaks out
it'll
of the
be
spell that
teeing
she's
up.
under as the nosy neighbor or something.
maybe that or also
Wanda didn't take all her powers, or Mephisto
Or
just
something
gives
like
her powers back.
but
or
also
something.
either that or Wanda comes back, but she's more evil, and she's like, "I want you to help me," and she gives back like, as long as you agree to help me, I will give you back your powers. And then like something happens there, just
kind of
just a
setting her
brief
up like
appearance.
Jean Grey in X-Men. Just
They,
like,
well,
she's
she
good,
is,
and then gets her powers,
she is pretty much
and
Jean
then-
Grey. She is pretty much Jean
Yeah.
Grey.
and she's turned bad. They're ginger
I do
as
want
well.
to, I do want to talk about that. I do want to talk about the future of the MCU as well, but I will save that after I've made the rest of my points.
Okay.
Just a quick point as well. I believe now that Wanda is now the most powerful person in the MCU now.
Oh yeah, Brie Larson could go on all about she wants to be the most powerful Avenger. You are not.
Wanda is now the most powerful.
Wanda will
She's,
get you on your ass.
well, she's more powerful than Doctor Strange, so she's definitely now is more powerful. She's the most powerful one. What else did I put? The obviously Paul Bettany teased like there was an actor that he hasn't played yet, or he hasn't performed with before in this series.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And he was teasing it. It was like this thing, and everyone was like, "Oh, is it Doctor Strange? Is it such and such and whatnot?" And everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Obviously, there wasn't a big cameo that everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's Magneto or something."
Who
like
was
that.
it? Like, I don't understand.
There was some theories that Paul Bettany was talking about himself, because obviously
Yeah, working two different
he
characters.
worked as he technically worked as he technically
saying,
worked
you know,
with
yeah.
himself. He technically worked with himself. So I think that's who it was referring to. And
That'd be a
you know-
letdown if it is the truth. But
no.
Be
I think that's the. I'm fully on board with that. That is
I think
some.
that-
That
to be
is some
fair, I think it's a good
next
joke. But
level.
it would piss off some people.
That is some next level like shithousery from him.
I know, but like
there's this actor that I've never performed with before, who I think you're very excited, and I think
gotta
is very
reveal it somewhere,
talented.
hasn't he?
I think it's very talented, and well, the series is over, so who else is it going to be?
Yeah, but I mean, no, I'm saying like he's got to reveal it, like not in the episodes, but like.
I
What
know
he
what
meant
you
by
mean,
it.
but I still feel like I think it's him, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the way it's going, the fact that
and-
unless there is another episode, it's surely he just meant himself.
And the post-credit scene, we've already talked about the
Scroll.
the Skrull one. I think that's either Captain Marvel 2
She get
or
a name?
Secret Invasions or
Didn't
both.
she say like, "Hi, I'm so and so"?
I can't remember, but it doesn't really matter. But anyway, the other one, the one with Wanda, where she's in the middle of somewhere we don't know,
Lake District. No, I'm joking.
and she's reading the what's it called again? The book.
Darkhold.
Thank you. When she's reading the Darkhold.
You are making notes, Joe.
Yeah, I didn't make a note of the book. I just made a note. I just said post credit scene. I just said post credit scene, and I made my notes. That's all I did. Anyway, but she's reading the Darkhold, and obviously we hear the kids, as we've already explained. We hear her kids saying like, "Help us, help me, Mum," etc.
Confirms they're coming back.
Which I think that confirms they're coming back, and that's where I think the multiverse is hinted at. I know you explained it a bit, but I think that's where the multiverse is hinted at, and I think because there was that scene where they were saying goodnight to the boys, and they were like, she was
said,
like, "Thank you for choosing me as your mum," etc.
Yeah, that's what everyone was saying. Like, what does she mean by that?
It was a very weird quote to say. I will be honest.
Yeah.
So there probably is some more meaning behind it, but I'll put that to one side for the moment.
Maybe Wanda does know about the multiverse, but she just hasn't told anyone about it.
Anyway, I wanna make my point, but I feel like there is something that happens between them saying by them closing the door, and then when the hex actually finally closes and they disappear. Because obviously the kids have powers. I wonder if I can't remember which one it is. It's either Billy or is it Billy or Tommy, whichever one has the Wanda's powers. I feel like maybe he did something to try and at least keep their spirit or something alive before the hex closed, but they're in a different multiverse and they're trapped or something, whether it's they're trapped in between a multiverse, or like they're trapped
Spider-Verse.
or they're trapped in a different multiverse and they've got a villain that they have to try and deal with, and that's
I think that could set up the
do.
multiverse quite well. Like, they're stuck in the multiverse, she needs to get them.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
she needs to get them out, and then in like Multiverse of Madness,
and that's how it
she's,
leads
like,
into
bad.
Doctor Strange 2. That's how it leads to Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange is like, I'll help you, but just don't go too crazy, alright? And then or something like that.
Or maybe she like bad, and then
or maybe she does, or maybe she already has done the
damage. Out her
damage.
situation or something. He finds her kids, and then he brings them back to her, and then she turns good. It makes it be like, I can relax now. But it's very open.
But I want to go back to the multiverse bit in a minute, but I do want to make this point as well. As much as I thought it was a bit underwhelming, the finale, and there were still some unanswered questions, I do feel like also the expectations were too high as well.
I feel like for the stuff the amount of rumours that came out, and everyone was like, yes, that's going to happen, I wish that happens, all this and that.
But
I do agree with you, like, it was a bit...
I think also, but it's also the fact that there was so many theories as well, like, oh, is it Mephisto, is it? I know they were hinting at
Ultron?
Yeah, like Ultron, like, oh my god, and etc. But I do feel like the expectations were too high, and I also want to point out as well, this wasn't meant to be the first thing for Phase 4. This was meant to come out.
This is based before Far From Home. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is meant to come out before this, wasn't it? Initially?
Yeah. So like the let me try and find it, because I did see it somewhere on Twitter. Actually,
I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is based after Far From Home. Because I think it goes Far From Home. No, WandaVision, Far From Home, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Obviously, Loki's based back in 2012,
but basically I'm trying to find it. So yeah, it was meant to go. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was meant to release first, and then like Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi, and then it was meant to be WandaVision, and then the next thing that was meant to be released was Doctor Strange 2, and literally within like a couple months apart. So it would have been like
a year apart. So
yeah, so now we've got to wait another year until everything kind of makes sense again. But and I feel like there was so much expectation and not necessarily pressure, but just so much on WandaVision to be this entire thing of, I want all of this, but we've got to remember as well that this is, there's still plenty of other movies coming on, and this is meant to also start up not only this next phase, but also this next saga. So we've still got another 3 phases, you know. We haven't got just this one phase where all the answers have to be revealed, which is why I'm like, yeah, it's a bummer.
They set up Thanos over 3 phases, didn't they? And then he appeared at the very end.
But he, that's what I mean. So like, they set him up. They started to set him up after the first Avengers film.
Yeah.
And it was
like I wonder if each phase will have like its own baddie, like you had Ultron and stuff, and then you had Loki.
Yeah.
But then they just tease like they did with Thanos, like an ultimate baddie to like the end of the 6th phase, for example.
So I feel like
phase groups.
I feel like it will be like Mephisto, maybe like the main one.
Mephisto, and then you got Oscorp as well with like the Sinister Six and that.
But no, what I mean though is like Thanos was the main villain for the entire of
Mephisto's powerful as fuck. So I think
so he may be the main
villain for a main villain.
But it could also be Wanda as well.
It could be.
But I don't think it's going to be the fact that she turns evil. It's just going to be that she's emotionally broken.
Basically Jean Grey.
And that she, not the film Dark Phoenix, but
we'll forget about that one.
Yeah, exactly. But like
there's only one X-Men film I haven't actually bought, and it's that.
Exactly. She's just so emotionally broken that she just loses control, and the Avengers would just have to try and stop her, and just try and like fix what she's done. But
yeah.
Anyway, that like. Yeah. Anyway.
Was it what country is she from again?
Sokovia.
Yeah, Sokovia. She has that accent. You don't
Um,
know my problems.
Okay.
I got destroyed this
Okay, that was yeah, okay.
No, just go with it, alright? Don't make it awkward.
I have to make it awkward, Charlie, for context.
No, you don't.
But I guess the next question as well, Charlie, is what did you think of it as a series, WandaVision?
As a series, WandaVision, if they literally just... I just liked it, like, as a storyline, because if they actually just said to us at the start, don't expect anything, don't expect any cameos, like if they didn't not say that, but just not say anything at all, just like this is about not Falcon, this is about Vision and Wanda, and their story, and then we got what we got, that would have been brilliant, because we wouldn't have expected anything, and no like expectation would have made, because then like all the theories and stuff would have purely just been on the fans, and so the fans have only got to blame for their like letdown.
No, I still feel like the expectation was too high based on us, though. Like I feel like
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like for the things like they said with all this cameo and stuff like that. It's just I think and all like the timing of the episodes. It's not that important, but I'm just saying like if they just said here's what we're getting, this is what you're getting, make it what you will. Like if they literally just said that and don't like all tease all this stuff and put all these quotes underneath their Insta posters saying like, oh, we could be getting this next episode, then then that would have been like made it even that more sweet, because I wouldn't have been as disappointed. But as a storyline, just WandaVision, I loved it. I think it was brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. I think we definitely saw the character arc. Like we've already explained it, but the character arcs of Vision and Wanda were portrayed very well. Same with Agnes, really, as well. I thought like she was portrayed quite well. Monica, as well. Finally introducing her, with her powers and everything. And I think there was also a good blend of the sitcom with the reality stuff as well. Like to begin with, it was only the sitcom, and then when the 4th episode, but there were like tiny bits of hints of like there's something up here, and then when the 4th episode hit, it was like, sorry to say my mic, there was like context to like what was happening on the outside world in reality, and then after that it was kind of like a good blend of reality and the sitcom world, and then eventually they got to it where it blended it all together. And it worked.
Yeah, so I think after like the first couple of episodes, people were like, "Oh no, this is gonna be crap," and then they started to introduce more characters, explain the arcs more, and it was different. And then
I felt like that was always going to be the case, though. I felt like that was always going to be the case because with Marvel, you always expect the action scenes, the drama, etc.
It was something different.
It was completely different. It was a sitcom, 1940s, in black and white. No one expected it. Well, no one expected, but it just was totally different. That nobody really understood what was really happening. But then there were still hints of the Marvel type stuff with like the beekeeper thing, whatever that was, and Wonder Rewind in Time, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the storyline, the character arcs, etc., it worked very well. And I think overall, WandaVision was a good series, and
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
trying to
it's
think of a way to like just describe it in like a word or something. It's quite hard because you like as a storyline, it was like very good, and it made me like care about Wonder and Vision's character going forward. And I like what they did with
definitely yeah.
introducing Grey Vision, but I just think it would been good to have understood where he went. But I think we will get that
I
eventually
think
in
yeah,
like
we will
a
get that
Doctor Strange or
eventually.
something. I don't know if Grey Vision will appear in Doctor Strange. I think he will, but
Mm,
because I can't see anything else because they're not doing and they're not doing a WandaVision like series season 2, so I can't see what else is going to be in other than like crossover Avenger films in the future. But they're not planning to do an Avenger film for another few years, so
mm.
yeah, I think he should be in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, especially because Wanda is in it. Maybe the kids, but yeah, I think as a storyline they did very very well, and I'm very much satisfied with it.
Mm.
It's just I would like to have seen a few more things. Like as a few people I'm talking to that have seen it as well that said like they liked it as storyline as well. They liked what Kevin Feige and all the directors and the casting have done, and how they performed and all this and that. And there wasn't like too many like it also wasn't all cringe and what we've seen in previous Marvel flop movies and series, but they would like to have just maybe like if this is actually the final episode, which I think it should be unless there's a secret one, which would be nice. But anyway, that there could be like a few more things added in that we've obviously discussed previously. But overall, it was I think you could say it was satisfying.
But I think with those things that we wanted to add in, I felt like again, like I'll make the point again. Like this is the start of another saga. This is not. It's still continuing on with the previous saga, the Infinity Saga, but this is starting up a brand new saga. I felt like if we jumped straight into the Mephisto, all that stuff straight away, I don't know what that won't leave much, and then it felt like it would also just drag on too long because it's just like Mephisto's in one division, then Mephisto's in Multiverse of Madness, and then he'll probably make another couple appearances. It's just like it just drags on. Like with Thanos, we got the teaser at the end of the first Avengers film. We briefly saw him in Guardians of the Galaxy and that end credit scene at Age of Ultron, and then we saw him again, and then he finally made his appearance in Infinity War and obviously Endgame as well.
Oh, his ship appeared in the end of Thor Ragnarok,
And that as well, yeah, and that as well, yeah. That was how it began. But I felt like with that, it worked well because we didn't see much of him, but when we did see him, it was a big impact, and it was just a good experience because we finally saw this villain who had been like keeping himself back from it all to see if obviously so he doesn't get his hands dirty, but we finally saw him and it was a massive moment, and I just feel like that's what they're going to do with Mephisto, and I'm perfectly happy with that, and I don't want them to just jump straight into it with Mephisto being teased straight away in the first Marvel project back after the Infinity Saga. I think they need to tease him. They need to tease him in like Multiverse of Madness or something. Don't.
Well, they already
jump
have
straight
teased
to
him in
gun.
WandaVision, haven't they? With all like the devil in the walls and stuff. That was.
But we don't know that's
basically
him. We don't know
Mephisto,
that's him though. Well, we don't know if that's him. There's plenty of other devils in.
Yeah, but
Marvel.
it's devil, mate, and he is the devil. Basically, like there's no one else in
there's
the
no,
MCU
but
that it could be.
no. But there's plenty of there is other devil-like creatures in the Marvel universe.
Not like Mephisto, mate. He's
I'm gonna do this. Devils in Marvel. That's
There might be some like devil-looking people because all the scrolls look the same, but I mean, there's only one Mephisto.
List of Marvel comic demons.
Got Nightmare as well, to be fair.
You got Mephisto. I don't know any of these people, but They've got a lot of people. They've got a lot of people that it could be. So it's
But
not
the fact
just
is,
Mephisto.
Agatha only really in the comics worked for Mephisto, so it can't. And she can't. I don't know. She kind of made like a reference
But we
in the
don't know
last
if she.
episode.
We don't know that she worked for Mephisto. That's the problem. We don't know that. It was never
No, but
confirmed that she was working for Mephisto.
no. Obviously not. But that's what everyone was like thinking, and that's what kind of
And
let down the episode for me.
that's where my problem is were the expectations just too high for this finale that we expected just all of this stuff dumped on it, like she was working for Mephisto, that guy's Ultron, etc, etc. Like
The Ultra thing was a bit distant, but the thing with Mephisto is it was literally setting, like, it looked so like evident that he was going to appear. That's the thing that let me down for it, because literally it was like they were like following the comics with it. Obviously she turns into Scarlet Witch, we got Grey Vision, we got Agatha to eventually like reveal herself as her true form, a little bit of her backstory. I also got Scarlet Witch's backstory like the comics, and then Agatha works for Mephisto in the comics, and all the devils on the walls, and then the Darkhold Witch is Mephisto's book. It literally was setting up Mephisto. It is Mephisto all the way. I can guarantee you. She's like, she knows
I
who
don't
Mephisto is.
I don't doubt that she knows who Mephisto is. I don't doubt that Mephisto. I don't doubt that Mephisto is involved. I don't doubt that for a second. But the thing is I didn't expect to see Mephisto in this personally, because
that's the thing I did.
No, but and that's where the problem is. Like your expectations, I think, were just too high for it, because
I don't know.
No, because this, like, again, no, because the thing is that this was the first thing back into this phase, into this saga. Why the hell would they reveal what their end goal is for this saga is straight away? It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't have to be an end goal. It's just it literally is just like.
No, but I mean, like, their end villain. Like, why would they reveal Mephisto straight away?
A cameo would be
they didn't
brilliant,
do
because
that.
it makes so many people like, oh my god! Like imagine just seeing him like I don't know, like just a small like 2-second clip of him looking down or something, or like Agatha talking to him and just being like, I've got like Wanda, like she's under my spell or something. Like that would be amazing for like the future of the MCU. I mean, he doesn't have to appear again for like another year or two, but that would be so good. Think about it. It was like,
because then you're gonna because again then you're gonna be asking questions.
They confirmed a big cameo as well. They said that we're gonna get a big cameo. There was no big cameo. So I don't know what they're on about.
But then again, if you're like saying, oh, wait another year, then people can ask questions of like, where's Mephisto? Where's Wanda during all of this? Like, and then you're just going to create issues.
They didn't do him for like over a year. They waited for like, obviously you had Guardians of the Galaxy was 2014. You got Avengers Assemble in 2012. You didn't see him for 2 years. I don't mind waiting, because it's the end game as what matters. With the big, obviously, thing, you could coast Mephisto. And
but the difference is they didn't tease Thanos straight away. They didn't, and they did it at the right times. I felt like with Mephisto,
but they were introducing the Avengers, weren't they? They already know the Avengers. This is just a new phase of it. Like, we don't need.
But the saga, it's a saga. It's a completely new saga as well. We're not doing it in terms of just a phase. We're not. Mephisto is not phase 4, and then phase 5 is going to be something else. Mephisto will be phase 4, phase 5, and maybe even phase 6 as well.
Yeah, but that's what I'm just saying. Like, this could have been the perfect time just to like.
No, because why would you introduce him in the very first project of this saga?
Because one, this wasn't meant to be the very first project of the saga, as we know. And two, they've
had to change their plans then. They've had to change their plans then.
And three, the Multiverse of Madness needs a big baddie, and this was meant to be based straight before, like,
straight after
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I thought you meant. Sorry, I know what you meant.
Yeah, so it would have made like if this was based just like originally meant to come out 2 months before Multiverse of Madness, and we don't really know who's going to be the ultimate baddie from Doctor Strange. Like, it could be Mephisto, it could be Wanda. Because if it is Mephisto,
it could be that guy. It could be that guy that was in the first Doctor Strange film, and he was.
It could be, but I don't think he's that powerful. There, I'll say that with my mate. Like, if that is the baddie, that'd be pretty let down. But I think you might be able to.
He'll probably make an appearance. He'll probably be in there, though.
Because if you actually look him up in the comics, he does turn into a bit of a bad bitch. But look him up.
Yeah, he does.
I think he has. I think he gets a new name, but I can't remember it. But he becomes quite powerful. But it's just, I think, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, like, they just set him up. Maybe, like, I think we will definitely see him soon. I don't think we'll. Like, I think in the next year we'll see him 100%, because that'll be waiting too long. Mephisto.
I think we'll probably get something out about him in the Multiverse of Madness, 100%. But I just felt like it would just been too early to introduce him now into the MCU. And I know what you mean. Like, this wasn't meant to be the first project for the Phase 4, and I get that. But they would have changed it. They would have changed their plans, because everything has been changed about this. Because it was meant to be Black Widow, ends up being WandaVision. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was meant to come out before 4-4. Now 4-4 is coming out before Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I think
they already finished filming this, though, didn't they? When
they
did, yes,
but they still can edit out and everything. You know, they can still change it up and everything.
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't think they did that, but if they might have done,
I think
obviously they can do whatever they want with their stuff. But
was Spider-Man 3 no, Spider-Man 3 was still meant to come out before Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and another thing that I was saying was like, yeah, I agree with you, like, and not bringing him out this early, but it's just the fact that they built him up in this series, like they're never as in like introducing his character and that from the first episode. So calling him Mephisto, we never got to see him. Like, we never actually got anything to do with like Mephisto, but we got teases. Like, it was so like comical, related, and like accurate that people were thinking, oh, he's got to appear. Like, there were so many like
I know,
it was like it's just the way they set him up. Like, I think like if they didn't bring him in, then people would say like don't go the way you about it in WandaVision, how you were like setting up Agatha, like everything she was talking about, and like what she was displayed in a little underground cave, like all the devils, like that is Mephisto.
No, because then I can no, because I just don't agree with the fact that, like, if you're gonna tease it, just do it. Like, I just don't agree with that. Like, I just don't.
I think it's just the way they set him up. If he appeared at the end, they would have set him up perfectly the way they did it. But because he didn't appear, it just all looked a bit. Well, why did you do this and that then? If he didn't appear, that's what,
because they're setting it up for the entirety of the saga. They're not setting it up just for this one small year of WandaVision.
That's what I know.
I'm not saying like Madness and Spider-Man 3
for this, and then multi. Like, I'm not saying like they set him up for this, and then obviously this is meant to come out 2 months before, and then he like gets defeated. Like, Agatha got defeated in the last episode because he's meant to be some badass baddie. But they could have done like a sort of like a Thanos cameo with him. I think, in my personal opinion, I know yours is different, but I just
feel like that would have been too early though. I felt like that would have been way too early. Like, do it if you did it in Multiverse of Madness, fair enough, because that's a year into it.
He didn't need to like fight or anything. He just needs to like, I don't know, just see.
No. I know that, but I meant like do that cameo when we're already a year into the phase, just like they did with Thanos after the first.
I think that's I just think that's a bit too late.
What do you mean? They've got 3 phases to do it. What do you mean?
No, but because if Mephisto is meant to be the big baddie from the next 3 phases, they need to introduce him like around like soon in the first season of the next 3, so the 4th phase.
What?
Because otherwise, if you introduce him in like phase 5 and he's the ultimate baddie, then people are like, oh,
Doctor Strange is in phase 4.
Spider-Man
so
3, we've had Spider-Man 3.
Doctor Strange is literally coming out in a year's time. That's when that's when he'll get introduced.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you're gonna have all of like so much after like before Doctor Strange comes out. You've got so many movies and stuff that is part of Phase 4, and then especially with Spider-Man 3 coming out before Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, you're gonna have so much going on, and we're gonna have like if the multiverse is officially going to be a thing, officially introduced, like which we didn't get in WandaVision. In Spider-Man 3, obviously everyone coming back, then and Mephisto like still hasn't appeared yet. You're just like, oh, he's the ultimate baddie. Like, where is he? Like, yeah, I just know. And then don't get me wrong, he's gonna if he doesn't appear in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, then in my opinion he isn't the going to be the ultimate baddie.
Let me explain
what it would have been perfect for him to have.
Let me explain the order of which they're coming out. Everything. So obviously we've had WandaVision.
They come out.
No. But okay. So we've got WandaVision, which just obviously happened. We've then got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is coming out in 2 weeks' time, which we will obviously do when it comes out. But that I mean, it'll probably like
Falcon Winter Soldier is just an action series, really.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really going to be
Yeah.
too much about all this
That's what
stuff.
I think they should have done with.
Again, they'll probably
this.
tease
They've
something.
just gone like, this is an action series. Bang! This is what you're getting. That's why I'm not got high expectations for it. Not in terms of like it's going to be bad, but in terms of like I'm not expecting any big cameos. Now I'm just expecting a good, thrilling 6-episode, I think, series where it's just pure action.
Yeah,
about
but I didn't expect that from. I didn't know what to expect from WandaVision, really, to be honest.
just that big. It's just say we got a big cameo, but we just didn't.
But then we've got Black Widow, which is a prequel, but it will probably hint towards like Weapon X or something, or whatever the thing's called. I can't remember. But that's an entirely different thing anyway. You've got the Loki series, which is set in another universe.
Filming Blade soon as well.
You've got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which no one knows what that's really going to set up or anything. You've got the Eternals, which is...
I think that's linked to Iron Man 3.
Yeah, it's about the Mandarin and whatnot. Yeah, I get that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like, we don't... If it was set
Don't know
up...
that much.
We don't, yeah, we don't know if it will set up anything or anything like that.
I doubt it.
Then you've got the Eternals, which is a prequel because it's based on...
Do you think we'll see the Eternals again? I just think it'll be a one-off thing.
One-off.
I think we might see them again just because of how, I don't know, relevant they are to the MCU.
It depends. Well, it depends on how well this film goes as well. I'm gonna be honest. Because I've got to be honest, I'm not really that hyped about the Eternals. I couldn't care less.
I just am because of some of their actors in it. But
yeah, don't get me wrong. The stars that they've got in there is great. There's a good list of celebrities.
Yeah, I'm
looking
forward to see Kit Harington as what's his name, Black Knight, I think.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. You've then got the What If series, but that's just the animated series where it's like, what if this happens? What if that happens, etc. You've got Miss Marvel, which is actually
Hawkeye as well. I think coming out somewhere.
That's 2021. That'll be late 2021, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll be that again.
We've got a lot of stuff this year.
No. But that will be that. I think will be like the Falcon Winter Soldier type series. It won't have much to do with setting up anything.
People also like had this like thing, like rumors going around that Hawkeye could appear at the end of one. I didn't think he was going to, but I don't know, maybe because of like this. Yeah, because of the scene they had at the end of Endgame.
Okay, that's clutching at some very small straws. I've got to be honest with you.
I just saw it and I was like, people started like, I don't know, like sharing it. I was like, I don't buy it.
And then and then after that you've got Spider-Man: No Way Home, which will most definitely tie into Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, which will be the next film coming out after that.
I think Doctor Strange might actually be in Spider-Man 3. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, he is. That's confirmed.
So I think so.
That's confirmed. That is confirmed.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Well, I think I might have known before, but it'd be good
No, that
to
is
see
confirmed. That
because,
is confirmed.
It's just when you said like, I think it might tie into it. I was like, well, if he isn't, it certainly fucking will.
No, yeah, it will tie into it because he's in it. But yeah, I just feel like the projects that are coming up, not much has to do with this, with Mephisto, with setting up Mephisto rather. So I feel like why would they introduce him in the not only in the first, I guess like magical based thing, whatever you want to call it, thing in this phase, but why would they introduce it in the very first project in the very first phase of the saga? That was my point I was trying to make after.
Yeah, I get your point. I agree. Like that's the thing. Like I agree with, not necessarily like, yes, I would have liked to seen him introduced like in this phase, like phase 4, and that which I think is Multiverse of Madness is part of phase 4. But
yeah, it is.
Yeah, but like in WandaVision, I think I wouldn't have expected him to have appeared this early if he is the ultimate baddie. But I just think personally, the way they kind of like displayed WandaVision, in my opinion,
I think also
it would have been good to have seen him.
I think if it was released, if the phase 4 was meant to be released as it was, I think we still wouldn't have got a Mephisto cameo, and I think the reason for that is because Doctor Strange was literally going to be coming out a couple months later, so we wouldn't have. It's the fact that I think it's also that as well. The fact that it would have come out a couple months later, Doctor Strange, and we would have got some answers from what happened in WandaVision and whatnot, and it would have made a lot more sense. And that's when we've got our Mephisto cameo, and that's when we've gone, this is awesome. I can't wait for this. The fact that we've got to wait another year for more context about what's going on, that's the issue.
That's what I was talking about like this originally was meant to come out 2 months before, and so we were like, okay, we can have a nice little chat about what we think about WandaVision, what's going to happen in Doctor Strange. 2 months later, bang, we get the answers and we get plot holes and questions answered. And then now they've released it now, and it's based before Far From Home, which is always, I think, was always the plan. But it's come out now, early 2021, and we're not getting the sequel to Doctor Strange until like a year over a year's time. So
it's coming out. It should be coming out March 2022. So
yeah, so about a year then. So basically, everyone's now is just like, are you kidding me? Like, people are just thinking. I can hear a lot of people now just giving like, I don't really now, because they're so intrigued with Wanda.
I know.
They're just like, I don't care about Shang-Chi.
I know.
I don't care about Black Widow. I just want the answers to it now.
I know.
I'm still excited.
But that's the issue. Like, you do that, and then it was. Let's just blame the pandemic.
Just people being greedy, isn't it? Really.
It's.
Like, I want it now.
No, let's blame the pandemic for screwing up Marvel's original schedule, and we've now have to wait another year until we actually understand what's going on.
Yeah. We might get some reference. I don't know. We might get something in Spider-Man 3. I can't see any projects up till Spider-Man 3 that we could have any possible relation to multiverse or WandaVision. So I think at least we've basically got 9 months until we get any answers. Maybe at least,
Loki.
Anyway.
Maybe Loki. Because he's jumping through.
Because it's
he's jumping through different places, in time.
It's 2012, isn't it?
It's with the TVA.
Mm.
No, yeah, it's 2012 Loki, yeah. But
does he go forward in time, or does he always stay in the timeline? Is that time period?
I feel like he could jump. What was the TVA? What does the TVA stand for? I can't remember what it stood for. It was like time something. Let me look it up. Marvel TVA. Time variance authority. A group of timeline monitors appear. So it's just people that are like. They pretty much govern the multiverse. Pretty much, they literally like. So for example, like Kang the Conqueror, that's going to be in the Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. They would try and go after him.
It's Quantum Mania, isn't it? I think it's called.
Yeah, Quantum Mania. Yeah. So
Ant-Man and Wasp are pretty powerful if you think about it. They can just shrink down to. I don't know. They can just shrink inside your body and blow you up.
Well, yeah, but
you wouldn't do it. But it's a pretty dick move. But they could do it if they wanted to. That's the thing.
Okay, so, but I think the final question as well that I want to ask. Well, there's actually two questions.
Okay.
The first one.
Are you sure I can answer them?
Well, yeah, you can answer them in some way. The first question, obviously, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is coming out in a couple of weeks' time, or is going to start in a couple of weeks' time. What are your expectations on it? I know we've kind of briefly talked about it, but more. I
think like action's always been my favourite genre, and so I feel like this is from the trailer at least. I feel
it looks like we're going to get a good few action scenes. Definitely. Yeah,
I think we're going to get quite a lot of action. I think we obviously got the new Falcon suit, which I think is absolutely sick.
We've got the new Bucky haircut.
Yeah, we're doing back to the old Captain America First Avenger trim.
Exactly. You know what? You know what? I am Bucky because I had that phase where I had long hair, didn't I? And then I cut it.
Yeah, but you also Jesus at another point in life. But yeah. So I think Bucky and Falcon. I think I like to see the scenes with them trying out with the shield and see who eventually. I don't know if they share it or Falcon does it actually end up keeping it, or maybe he's like, nah, I can't handle this. You've got a metal arm, you just use it or something. Yeah. Or if they just take in turns, or I don't know how it goes. It sounds a bit childish, but you know what I mean. How they use the shield. Also, with the obviously, what's his name? Purple mask. He's yeah, Zemo.
Deadpool mask. Wow.
Well, I'm trying to describe him so you know what I was on about, so you could like answer.
That is true. To be fair, that is true.
Yeah, I'm just like helping you. Like, what do you mean? But yeah, I feel Zemo. I liked his character in Civil War a lot. because it wasn't. He was like, it was a different villain, wasn't he?
Yeah, I
He
was about to
wanted
say it was
revenge.
different. Yeah,
Like he wasn't powerful. He just
he
like the
wanted
way they did
revenge.
that.
He wanted
So
revenge, but
good.
the way he didn't go for them, like
He
in
knew
terms
he
of
couldn't beat them like hand
yeah,
to
yeah,
hand
exactly.
combat.
He
So
went he
got them to fight
he
each
the
other.
best way he did it was by them fighting each other rather than him
Mm.
fighting them. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see his role in the film and him turning into obviously Zemo with his mask. I think that's gonna be badass. And maybe we get some references to Civil War as well, especially with Winter Soldier, not necessarily Falcon, with Bucky. But yeah, and I think I don't know if we'll get any big cameos or anything like that. Obviously, they explain that at least part of the series, isn't it 6 episodes? I believe it is
Let
could be
me
based where in the comics
check.
like Wolverine is based in the comics, like where he spends part of his life there. I can't remember the name of the city. It doesn't. I'm not getting expectations. I'm not saying Wolverine will appear, and we're going to get this version of the Earth, not Fox's Wolverine, or like a younger version or something, or like a new version of Wolverine, like this Earth's Wolverine, MCU's Wolverine. But I'm just saying they're in there in the comics. Wolverine, come on! No, I'm joking, but I'm just saying, like people are just saying, like I think people will get too hyped up about that, but I'm not expecting Wolverine to appear at all. I think if they need to set it up, I think if Wolverine does appear, they need to set it up well. I don't want them just to be on a mission. He just rocks on, goes, "Hi, do you need some help? I'm Wolverine." Like that would be stupid. So I just think Falcon Winter Soldier, it's going to be very action packed. I think it's going to be very comical. I think there's going to be a lot of comedy in it as well because of the sort of relationship they actually have on and off screen, Bucky and Falcon. So I'm expecting a very enjoyable 40-minute long episodes of action, very good plot, very good arcs, and to know a little bit more about both their characters and obviously with Cap Shield. So that is my thoughts on the series, and if it actually ties into any future projects or films or series. So overall, I'm very excited.
It is only 6 episodes long as well. You are correct.
It's 6, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to be longer episodes. But I think they said they were like 6 1-hour episodes, but
That'd be good.
half an hour that was going to be credits on it. I've actually got a couple more questions now because I just thought of them. The second one, what do you think the future holds for Wanda, Vision, and the kids?
The future holds for WandaVision and the kids. Well, we kind of talked about obviously the kids being in the cameo with the Darkhold. That
Yeah.
I at least I think you kind of agreed, but obviously they're stuck in the multiverse.
Yeah. Definitely.
She wants to. Obviously, she may find out eventually they're in there. She wants to get them out. Maybe she goes to Doctor Strange for help. Maybe she tries and does it herself. She can't do it without Doctor Strange. That ties into obviously, or that probably will be in Multiverse of Madness if it happens, or a later film based after that, and they just brush over it in the film. I don't know. It'd be good if it happens in the multiverse. I don't, because if this originally based 2 months before, I don't know if because the cameo was, if they actually changed it, or if that always was going to be the cameo, even though it's the date of the series came out now rather than later. That cameo is going to happen. Of kids were stuck in the Darkhold 2 months later, Doctor Strange comes out and she saves them, and they're all a happy family again. I think that would have been too quick, so to speak, in my opinion. I think now, but because it's a year now they'll go away, it may make more sense in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. But I feel the future will be that I think they're stuck in the multiverse. She obviously wants her kids back. If it's possible to get them back, she'll do anything for her kids. She'll meet Grey Vision, who obviously got his memory back, and I think eventually the sort of the end point will be they all become a happy family again, unless Wanda is saving people or dies a villain, which I can't see happening. But I can obviously, she kind of hinting that she'll be a villain using the Darkhold. But I feel like, just quickly, overall, Wanda will start to turn bad, and will turn bad, eventually turn back to the good with some help, such as Vision and
Agreed.
Wanda. I think Grey Vision, whether he will get his original clothing like color back or not, I think he remembers anything at least. So I think he will try and help Wanda now he remembers everything. But she won't buy it at first, and then she'll start to trust him on this and that and prove it, and then it will kind of like develop. You can't really answer that one too well at this point because he's like gone off and we don't know where he's gone. But hopefully he appears in Multiverse of Madness. That way in Spider-Man though, and then the twins. I think they're just stuck in the multiverse waiting to come out and be freed again. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what the last one is. I can't remember what the last question was. But yeah, we've talked a lot. We talked a lot about WandaVision anyway. So I think
you said you only had 2, didn't you?
I did, but I felt like I had another one as well. But that wasn't my second question. Yeah, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. But yeah, that is, I think, all we've really got time for. That was a good debate and good discussion about WandaVision.
We agreed on things, we disagreed on things, but
yeah,
ultimately we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do think Mephisto will make an appearance in Doctor Strange, though. I will make that clear.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. But yeah, that is all we've got time for, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy, please leave a like on the video, subscribe down below, and hit that notification bell so you know when the episode is live. No idea what we're going to talk about next week. If there is a secret episode, that'd be great.
I was about to say, like,
if there isn't,
if there is, we'll certainly keep you tuned.
If it is, great. If it's not, we're screwed. But anyway, thank you again for watching. I've been Joe.
I've been Charlie.
And we will see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.
In a bit.